Hello, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Deep into the Bible channel. The Bible is filled with fantastic stories. Amazing facts and great miracles are found throughout the Old and New Testaments. It also tells stories of ordinary people whose lives were transformed by God's love and power, and who became living examples of what God can do in our lives. Did you know that the Bible also speaks of very different creatures, such as dragons, many-headed beasts, and sea monsters? Some of these creatures are simply metaphors used by God to explain the spiritual things that will happen at the end of time. Others, it seems, have lived on earth. Real or not, I'm sure these animals will capture your imagination. The first creature mentioned in the Bible is the dragon. The passage that deals with it is in the book of Revelation. Here's what it says. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Of course, there are no dragons flying through the air today or ever. The book of Revelation is a series of revelations that God gave to the Apostle John about the end times. And one of the figures in these revelations is the dragon, which represents Satan. The Bible tells us that this dragon is the ancient serpent who deceives everyone. He also has 7 heads and 10 horns, and he persecutes the followers of Christ to destroy them. When Jesus returns, this dragon will be arrested and thrown into the lake of fire, where he will remain for all eternity. Another creature mentioned by the Apostle John in the book of Revelation is the beast. The account of it is in chapter 13. See what it says. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. The beast is associated with the Antichrist. It will rise out of the sea, receive power from Satan, and go out to conquer the world. Like the dragon, the beast will have 7 heads and 10 horns. The book of Revelation also shows that his body will be a mixture of a leopard, a lion, and a bear. These animals represent mobility, power, and strength. In verses 11 through 14 of the same chapter, we see a second beast. It will have 2 horns like a lamb, and will speak like a dragon. This evil creature will be on earth, acting as a false prophet, performing great signs and wonders, deceiving people and forcing them to worship the first beast. In addition to the dragon and the 2 beasts, another creature mentioned in the Bible to tell of the end times is the locust of the abyss. According to the Apostle John, these beasts will appear shortly after one of the trumpets of the apocalypse is sounded. See what is written in chapter 9. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit. And there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. The characteristics of this creature are terrifying. According to the prophecy, this beast will resemble a war horse, its face will be like a man's, its hair will be like a woman's, and its teeth will be like a lion's. In addition, there will be golden crowns on its head. His tail will be like a scorpion's, and his sting will be so painful that people will want to die, but death will flee from them. These locusts represent sin and will torment those who do not have God's seal. According to the book of Job, one of the creatures that might have actually existed one day is the Leviathan. Throughout chapter 41 we see his characteristics. Here are some stories about it. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. The Leviathan was a very large sea monster that breathed fire from its mouth and smoke from its nostrils. It was so large and strong that the waters of the sea were agitated when it passed by. Psalm 104 confirms that there really was such a sea monster. Look at what it says. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. Some versions of the Bible treat Leviathan as if it were a kind of crocodile, but if you read all of chapter 41 of the book of Job, you will see that its characteristics are quite different from those of a crocodile or an alligator. The behemoth is also mentioned in chapter 40 of the book of Job. God himself tells him about this creature. Behold now behemoth, which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox. Lo now, his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together. The behemoth was a very large herbivore that lived near rivers. It was so big that not even a strong current could disturb it. However, it was a herbivore that didn't usually attack other animals unless it was attacked first. Some versions translate behemoth as hippopotamus or elephant, but this creature had none of the characteristics of either. The Bible indicates that the behemoth had a large, powerful tail, which was compared to the cedar, a tall, strong, and sturdy tree, quite unlike hippopotamuses and elephants. The book of Revelation is a complex and symbolic work that provides a vivid portrayal of the ultimate triumph of good over evil. Through a series of visions, John the Apostle reveals the end-time events, including divine judgments, the fall of corrupt powers, the final defeat of Satan, and the establishment of a new, perfect creation where God dwells with his people. The message of Revelation is one of hope and encouragement for believers, assuring them of God's sovereignty and the fulfillment of his promises. What about you? Have you ever heard of these monsters in the Bible? If you like the video, please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and may God bless your life.